Welcome to our flipping classroom. Flipping, you might ask. I guess I should fill you in on what a flipped classroom is. This is my second year working with NKU, Northern Kentucky University, on the Flipped Classroom Initiative. The idea behind the flipped classroom is that traditionally teachers deliver information during class and send you home with reinforcement and practice problems to do on your own. But what often happens is that in this dynamic, students don't recall what they went over in class. They didn't really master the skills in class, and so they go home and the homework becomes ineffective because they just don't or can't do it. And so they just copy from someone or they just give up and don't do it at all. And that's not what we intend as teachers. Homework is supposed to be a time for you to learn and develop. So the flipped classroom began with the idea of changing this dynamic. The idea in the flipped classroom is to deliver content, usually in video format, for homework, so that students can pause and rewatch and rework any parts of the skills or the content that the teacher is delivering. Then when you come back the following day, the traditional homework or the practice problems, the follow-up activities are done in the classroom where I'm available to guide you and your learning and to answer your questions as you work through the new material. So as the flipped classroom model continues to develop, it has also become a way to engage students outside of the classroom in some sort of critical thinking activity or in some problematic struggle that will then be discussed and worked through together in the classroom the following day. This model essentially expedites the discussion because everyone has been working through the issue before they come to class. So when I ask a question, you don't just sit there because it's brand new to you. You've had time to stew on this and ponder it. So it gives us a chance to just jump right into discussion or group work or even a lab if we're doing some sort of inquiry lab when you return. So I'm going to work hard to use the flipped classroom model as much as I can for a couple of reasons. Number one, I totally see the value in what the flipped classroom is trying to achieve in making sure that when you are in the classroom with me, you get the most bang for your buck, that you learn the most and are the most engaged that you can be. I love that if I'm delivering content in a video format, that you can just pause it and rewatch parts that don't make sense to you. I think this is really nice for those of us that are shy. You don't have to feel any peer pressure about stopping and rewatching things that take you a few times to actually get it. No one's going to make fun of you because they won't know. It won't matter. And any questions that you have, you can just email me or write them down and ask the next day. So you don't have to feel like you're somehow holding the class up if you need more time on something. Or on the other hand, this may be content that you just get very easily, you're familiar with it, so you can just zoom right through it without stopping, do whatever follow-up activity you've got to do and just be done with it without having to stop 5 or 6 or 7 times and listen to the questions of others as they work through trying to learn it on their own. So further, you will find out that colleges today, even tech schools, community colleges, I've been at a community college working here in Prestonsburg on the Flipped Initiative all week, and all over their bulletin boards are getting help using the online classroom environment, the flipped classroom environment, even at the community colleges. So it's something that you're going to see in your future no matter what. Most are moving to this online environment. Even if you still go to class, you're still going to have to use Blackboard or some other online system for your class work and your homework. So I want to give you some experience understanding and knowing how to communicate and how to thrive in an online environment. It would be what we would call a mixed environment since you'll be also coming to class. So we want to give you here at Owen County High School every tool possible for you to succeed when you leave here. And honestly, that is my main reason for working so hard to modernize my teaching, to prepare you for whatever's coming next. It's actually a lot easier for me to just do things the old-fashioned way, but that is not why I'm here. I'm here for you. And so, as this is new, there's going to be a potentially large learning curve and a lot of growing pains. I did flip one unit in one class last year, and so I already have some experience, but I'm going to have a lot more this year, as I hope to do this in every class as much as possible. So I ask for your patience and for your enthusiasm and participation. And don't freak out if there's a technical problem. Just do your best. Let me know what's going on, and we will work it out. And hopefully, within the first few weeks, we'll get all the bugs worked out, and we'll roll on. So just remember that our learning is not a destination. It is a journey, and it should be a fun one. Your focus always should be on learning and enjoying this learning. And if at any point you're not doing that, I want you to communicate that with me. And hopefully we can make some changes and tweak things. So I'll do my best to make sure that each one of your needs are met. But what if you hate it? I understand this because I didn't really enjoy this format when I went back to school and got my master's the year before last. Sometimes change is painful and very uncomfortable, but you just have to do it. I have an older daughter that just has a heart attack when I talk about the flipped classroom because she wants the teacher there with her when she's processing new materials, and I get that. But the truth is that the way post-secondary education is gone, and it's going to continue to go, you're just going to have to do it. You've got to get familiar with processing information and thinking on your own, with considering your own learning and doing whatever's best so that you can learn. And that's what the flipped classroom model intends to do for you. So nonetheless, don't be afraid to share your honest reactions and thoughts and your ideas with me. I'm not the kind of teacher that assumes that I know everything. I just know that I love to learn, and I want to make sure that you learn to love to learn with me. I'm energized in trying new things and experimenting with new ways to learn and new ways to show that we've learned. And so I'm always open to your ideas, and I ask that you stay open to new ideas as well. And understand that the way our classroom looks today may look very different than it does tomorrow or next week or next month or at the end of the year. I assume it's going to change as we learn what works and what doesn't work. So right now, I want you to reflect on your education up to this point and think about what I'm talking about here in getting your content online and your homework actually being watching videos that are usually anywhere from 8 to 15 minutes, depending on what we're trying to achieve that day. And I want you to go to our discussion board and share your initial thoughts and your reactions to this flipped classroom model. So I look forward to hearing from you guys, and we'll see you next time.